Have you ever felt it? A shadow at the edge of your vision, a whisper carried on a wind that has no source. Have you ever stared into the abyss of history and felt that the stories we are told are but a thin veil, stretched taut over a chasm of terrifying and magnificent truth? We walk upon a world built on the ruins of another, a world once ruled by beings not of clay, but of fire. They were the first inhabitants, a civilization of beings known as the Jinn, who built cities of shadow and light and swore they would rule the earth forever, until pride consumed them and they were cast down. But what if they never truly left? What if their ancient fiery blood found its way into the veins of humanity, into the royal lines that would shape the destiny of nations? This is not a mere legend. It is a key, a forgotten cipher to unlock one of history's most profound enigmas. We speak of a queen whose wisdom was so vast it humbled the mightiest king on earth, a ruler whose splendor was so great it became a myth whispered across deserts and seas for 3,000 years. We speak of Bilqis, the Queen of Sheba. The world remembers her for her riddles, her riches, and her encounter with the prophet Solomon. But the scriptures, the ancient texts, and the forbidden lore all point to a more shocking secret, a truth so profound it was deliberately buried, that the great queen was not entirely human. Her ancestry was entwined with that of the Jinn, a union of earth and smokeless fire, a living bridge between our world and the unseen. Tonight, we pull back the veil. We trace the bloodline that was never meant to be known, and we reveal the apocalyptic truth of the Jinn queen who walked among men. For her story is not just a relic of the past. It is a prophecy for our future. Our journey begins not in the sun-scorched lands of Yemen, but in the twilight realm where the world of man brushes against the world of the unseen. Long before the queen's birth, her father, a wise and just human king named Sharahil, found his kingdom plagued by a powerful and malevolent Jinn who demanded tribute and terrorized his people. Desperate, the king waged war, but the armies of men were no match for the trickery and might of this ethereal tyrant. As despair settled over the land, a proposal was delivered from the world of shadows. A faction of righteous Jinn, who still held to the covenant with the Creator, offered an alliance. They were led by a Jinn princess of immense power and breathtaking beauty named Rayhana, a daughter of the fire-born nobility that had existed since before the time of Adam. The alliance was forged. The human king and the Jinn princess joined forces, their armies of flesh and spirit marching as one. In the ensuing battle, a bond was formed between them, one of mutual respect that blossomed into a love that defied the very laws of creation. From this impossible union, a child was born, a daughter who carried the wisdom and ambition of her human father, but also the otherworldly perception, the subtle fire, and the deep, ancient spirit of her Jinn mother. They named her Bilqis. She was a paradox, a creature of two realms. Her humanity grounded her, gave her compassion and a connection to her people. But her Jinn heritage gave her an intellect that saw patterns others missed, a charisma that seemed almost hypnotic, and an innate understanding of the hidden forces that shaped the world. It was this dual nature that made her the legendary ruler she was destined to become. Upon her father's death, she ascended the throne, and the kingdom of Sheba entered a golden age. Her wisdom was not merely learned, it was inherited. She governed with a justice that seemed divinely inspired and amassed a wealth that was the envy of the world, for she understood both the treasures of the earth and the secrets of the unseen. It was this very splendor that reached the ears of the prophet Solomon, son of David, the king to whom God had granted a power no ruler had ever known. Solomon commanded not just men, but the winds, the animals, and the jinn themselves. The Quran tells us of this moment. Solomon was reviewing his vast armies when he noticed the absence of one of his most trusted servants, the hoopoe bird. When the bird returned, it brought astonishing news of a kingdom it had discovered, ruled by a woman of great power who possessed a magnificent throne, but who, along with her people, worshipped the sun instead of the one true God. Here, the first mystery unfolds. Solomon, a prophet of God, does not simply dismiss this as a pagan kingdom. He is intrigued, compelled. He sends a letter with the hoopoe, a simple but powerful message beginning with the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, commanding the queen to come to him in submission. The reaction of Bilqis is telling. She does not react with arrogance or anger. She gathers her advisors, acknowledging the letter's power, and speaks with profound wisdom. Indeed, when kings enter a city, they ruin it and make the honored of its people humiliated, and thus they will do. But I will send them a gift, and see with what